Welcome back to the Asus Zenfone 6 versus the OnePlus 7 Pro camera comparison part 2, and this is the night shots. So not only am I comparing these two 48 megapixel cameras, I'm also comparing the GCam mod on the Asus Zenfone 6 as well. But bear in mind, the GCam mod is still in its beta phase, so it's still early days for it. They're still working on it, but let's see what it can do. So picture 1, shot up into the night sky. Now what's interesting here is both phones have the Sony 48 megapixel sensor, but the image is completely different on the two devices. I've got to say the new OnePlus update is really impressive. The image is smooth, the colors are awesome, it's picking up details in the tree even though it's incredibly dark out there. The Zenfone 6 photo is a lot noisier with a lot of grain up there in the night sky. It's losing some of the details in the shadows. Now let's see what the GCam can do with the Asus Zenfone 6. So as you can see, there's a slight improvement, particularly to the colors and the brightness. And there's still some noise there, but it's a definite improvement. What do you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comments below, and let's move on. Picture 2. So the foreground where I was standing was very dark, and there's a considerable amount of light in the distance. The OnePlus 7 Pro is delivering an impressive picture once again. Even right at the bottom of that photograph, it's picking up details on the grass. Whereas on the Zenfone 6 with the same image sensor, it's just not picking up as much detail. And I think you agree, the OnePlus is doing much better here, but now let's see what the GCam mod can do. Okay, so once again, it's an improvement. Although there seems to be quite a lot of magenta tones in the image, even on the grass, it's not the perfect picture, but it's definitely better than the stock camera. I fully believe the GCam mod in the future will be able to deliver the same picture quality as the OnePlus 7 Pro, and who knows, maybe it could even be better. We'll see. Picture 3. So here's quite a well lit shot, and it almost seems like the Zenfone 6 is struggling to capture focus in this light condition. It all just looks a little bit blurry. As well as that, the high ISO that it's using is causing the Zenfone 6 picture to have quite a bit of noise again in the image. Again, the OnePlus 7 Pro is very impressive. Now, let's check the GCam. So again, a pretty big improvement. Whilst it's not got rid of the noise completely, it has improved the colors, the details, and the brightness of the image. It is overall significantly better than the stock camera in this scene. And I think you'll agree. And something that's really impressive here about the GCam photo is when you compare the details on the left side of the image to the OnePlus 7 Pro photo, you can really see how much detail is picking up in the hedges there on the left hand side and in the trees. So it just gives you an idea of what this phone is capable of with the right software. Let's hope we see some updates from Asus and hopefully some updates to the GCam as well. Picture 4. A similar shot, and once again, the OnePlus 7 Pro is doing fantastic. The Zenfone photo has lost a bit of details there in the shadows, particularly at the top of the screen. Now let's see if the GCam mod can bring any of those details back. So as you can see, it certainly can, and in fact, it might be picking up a little bit more detail in the tree than the OnePlus 7. However, the noise and the graininess in the night sky is still there. Still, I'm impressed with the GCam here nonetheless. It's done a good job of recovering all of that information. Picture 5. So this one's a very low light selfie. The Zenfone with the flip camera and the 48 megapixel primary shooter as the selfie, of course, has the advantage here, and you can see that in these two images. The other advantage that it has is the ability to use its night mode even in selfies, whereas the OnePlus 7 Pro doesn't have the option to use nightscape in its selfie camera. Now let's check the GCam. And amazingly, it brightens up the image so much, but there is an incredible amount of noise in the image, and that's because the GCam mod actually hasn't been tweaked to recognize the 48 megapixel camera in the same way that it does with the rear camera. So once they figure that out, I'm sure this is going to improve a lot more. And what's really impressive about it, despite the noise, is it can actually see the color of my hoodie, my entire face, even in the shadows, and the skin tones. So that's pretty impressive. I think with a few more software tweaks, the GCam mod can turn the Asus Zenfone 6 into an absolute beast of a smartphone camera. But I want to know what you guys think. And do me a favor, let me know what you honestly think about this camera comparison, because this is the first time I've ever tested out the GCam mod in one of my shootouts. So leave me a comment below, and if you enjoyed this one, you might also enjoy the Zenfone 6 versus the Galaxy S10 video, which I made a little while ago. The thumbnails are on screen, go check those out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't be late.